Hey, Randy Joe here, and welcome back to Dance December, the series where throughout the month of December, we are listening to nothing but dance albums for the first time. And of course today, we're going to be checking out a suggestion from a fan, somebody in the comments down below, who suggested that I check out The Knife's 2006 record, Silent Shout. Now, I don't know too much about The Knife itself. I've never listened to their music. However, I am a fan of The Knife's member, Fever Ray, who has released about 3 albums in their discography. A great artist in their own right. Their debut, incredible. And of course, Radical Romantics, which they released just, I think, last year, was also a great record and certainly worthwhile. That being said, The Knife was the group that they were in before going on their own, venturing off into solo territory. So I'm interested in seeing just how the sound is on this project. How have they evolved as an artist to the point of making an album such as Radical Romantics and their debut, which is incredible. But without further ado, this has 48 minutes of runtime with 11 tracks. And kicking it off, we've got the title track, Silent Shout. All right. Let's go. I know this is a bit more of a house record, a dance record. Of course, given the month, but also leaning more into, more traditional techno in a sense. Oh. Right off the bat, vocally, very similar to Fever Ray's debut. Has those kind of twisted, atmospheric, kind of warbly vocals. Oh. I love how kind of playful this main synth is. Really pinging back and forth. Perhaps a commentary on gender, if I'm not mistaken. If taken at face value, at least. Oh. A nice creeping sort of track. It really builds up. And this main synth is certainly commanding of your attention. Love those layered vocals with Karen and, if I'm not mistaken, her brother. Olaf. What a name. Incredible way to kick off the record. Just oozing atmosphere, a great synth from beginning to end that's very sporadic. A beautiful track, honestly. I love how it kicks it off so atmospheric, which, if you know Fever Ray, if you've listened to especially the debut record, the self-titled Fever Ray record, you know that they are incredibly atmospheric more than anything. They are entirely focused on texture in their music. Here's Neverland, keeping it going. Oh. Quite a rattly kind of percussion over top here. As danceable as it is, very heavy in its sound. It's got a real kind of pummeling, oppressive sound. Maybe a critique of capitalism. Maybe a critique on capitalism. Fighting back with the feed the hand that bites me. Maybe there is a sense of kind of remorse in giving into capitalism. Well, unfortunately being forced to give into. Or maybe on the topic of selling it out as artists. Very kind of, very wavery type instrumental. Really, honestly, not too much more to say about it more than the first one, but again, very textured, beautiful production overall. It would seem to be a track about selling out, perhaps avoiding selling out, yet at the same time, unfortunately having to sell out just for one's own survival, really. Here's The Captain. Also kind of ambient in tone, some of the instrumental, which I've always found with Fever Ray's work. There is certainly a sense of ambience that kind of runs through it. A Brian Eno-esque. This one's beautiful. This intro is very ethereal and meditative in its sound. Man, this one's very hypnotic. We're about halfway through almost. And it's just been very textured with these overlaying instrumentals. pulsing. Everything about this album so far has had like a pulsing, living, breathing effect to it. It's very alien in its sound, which I really like. I feel like we're listening to some sort of alien artifact in a sense. It's like sci-fi. These vocals certainly a little bit more weirder than even the norm. This one's completely evolved from that first half. It sounds like an entirely new track, yet did it so gradually. Very subtle. If you follow this channel, you know I love a nice subtlety. Oh, kind of Phil Collins-esque there, with that pan to the side. Oh, that's such a warm, rich, almost like bassy synth. It's almost like a hum. Other than the incredibly weird, out there, I want to say Eastern sort of vocals that are put on there, this track's fantastic. I think the vocals, I don't know, maybe pushing a little bit too far for me, at least, on a first listen. It's certainly the more strange approach they've taken in terms of vocally. Here's We Share Our Mother's Health. The Captain, really a great track though. Otherwise, I think the production and that first half especially really takes hold. Super hypnotic. Also, what is this? It's like some weird circus. Oh! I don't know why this reminds me of Mario in a sense. Did they sample some video games here? I'm not too sure, but it sounds like it. Let's just go ahead and like this song, because this is super energetic and bouncy. Apples and the mother's health being shared here. Perhaps, you know, the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. That seems to be the ethos, perhaps. Reminding me of Apple from Charlie XCX. Thematically, at least. God, I love those. I love Kristen's pitched down vocals, which she's always played with. Just absolutely incredible vocals. Love the playfulness and how it's manipulated. a really dizzying and oh my goodness, incredibly layered and dizzying arrangement here. Beautiful, just beautiful. Love the overall cacophony of sound as everything swirls into this just like bouncy, energetic, polarizing sort of sound. Incredible track. Let's go into Nah Nah Nah. We better hear some nah nah nahs on this bad boy. And it seems that we will. A short track at 2.5 minutes. Also, giving Donkey Kong aquatic ambience. This is like the water level of Silent Shout. Just so spacey and ethereal. I feel like we're floating away into the abyss. Incredible. Brief, but beautiful atmosphere. Like, stunning atmosphere. Marble House is this one. This album so far, very uniform, cohesive sound, yet kind of stretched out into several different directions already. Very different moods. Sounds like a beetle or something. Really incredible synth work so far on this entire LP. Oh, hold on. Everything just swirling with those beetles. Perhaps about a song about death or aging? I'm not sure. Oh, I believe this is her brother here. Or is it JJ Johansson? Not sure who he is, but he works just as well as the main duo. Some sort of twisted kind of love relationship put on display here. I'm not sure what the narrative is here, but there's certainly an eeriness to it. Maybe a taboo kind of relationship at play. Oh, that that drop. And that weird, like, cicada-like effects throughout this entire track have been infectious. Another great track. I could see why that one is one of the biggest. I think it has perhaps the most hit potential, which for a knife song, for a silent shout song, that feels like a tongue twister. Hit maker potential is at an all-time low. I don't feel like any of these tracks are exactly going to be hits per se, but as far as being as accessible as possible, Marble House certainly seems to be one of the more approachable ones. Here's Like a Pen. Also, the male vocalist on that one, I think it was J.J. Johansson. My bad. A great vocalist. Here's Like a Pen. Also, yeah, like I was saying, he complements the knife quite well. Playing with this weird drip. Oh my goodness. Oh my, how low we get with this? Oh, wait. Okay. What a unexpected pickup here. It's like the single drip effect. Mutilated, twisted, pitched, and turned into something entirely different. Incredible. Getting a little kinky here with the lyrics. I'm not sure about this one. Vocally, this more uplifted section really not doing anything for me. I feel like it should, given its grand sort of pickup, but nothing. It's a little stiff to me. I don't know. You know what, though? Even that part aside, that didn't quite stick the landing for me. The rest of this instrumental, like, super incredibly creative in its approach. Like, hold on. And then we got this very metallic sort of snare-like instrument sliding in. Very like 8-bit. That percussion, that continuous pitter-patter. Never let up, but certainly gets drowned out in the mix and it re-emerges at the end. Maybe not my favorite on a first listen, but there are certainly more than enough elements that make it a worthwhile 6 minutes, that's for sure. Here's From Off to On. Every track kind of kicks off with this very slow, gentle, ambient-like kind of strip-back approach. And most of them seem to flourish and expand upon their ideas as we grow. Very robotic thematically. maybe a song on gender once again, perhaps. Which I know Fever Ray has played around with. I have no idea what this track's even about at this point. Maybe shutting out the noise of society? I don't know. A very, like, again, lullaby-esque, hypnotic, sleepy sort of melody. I like the kind of like distant wind effects that we're hearing here. It's like a subway or something. Again, rich atmosphere throughout this entire record. And so layered, so dense in production, so much to dissect and latch on to instrumentally. The arrangements are impeccable. Here's Forest Families. Very skittery as we start this track. Oh my goodness. The pace of this thing is very urgent. Very much like a twisted sort of dystopian vibe to this one. Instrumentally especially, you know, it feels very dark and oppressive. But even lyrically, said my favorite book was dirty. You shouldn't shout, you can read. You know, everything about this track kind of gives a deep oppression, maybe. I love trying to follow this synth, you know. Feels like we're always trailing behind it with its speed. An interesting track, certainly. This main synth lead really doing a lot of the heavy lifting here, which I can see for a lot of the album so far. Seems to be very much carried by, not that the rest of the music itself is not great, but the main focus, what's really drawing me in with a lot of these tracks, is going to be the main synth lead on a lot of these tracks here. Here's One Hit. Also, we've got a guest feature here as well, Mr. Nibbler.
I've got a new store, and it goes like this. How.
Oh, this one's really heavy and remind me of the Papers, Please main theme. Very weird reference to make, but same sense of kind of punchy kind of drops. Beautiful extended vocal delivery there. Incredible. Love the pitch down, but I really loved the way they stretched out that vocal delivery on Daughters You Will Breathe. This track is incredible. Oh my. only a minute in, and I feel like we've switched up so many times and spread out the instrumental. Again, lots of themes of gender and gender roles and gender stereotypes in the music itself. Here speaking on, concepts and stereotypes of being a woman, perhaps. Oh. Is that a Godfather reference? Incredible. Oh, wow. Is that the best track? I don't know. It might be the best track. Incredible instrumental. I loved how danceable that one, how funky that one got, how just out there the entire thing was. And some really great sort of switch ups and deviations in the sound. Even a minute in, I feel like we completely, beat switched in a sense, multiple times, like a good 2 or 3 times, so quickly. Let's go to the final track here, which is Still Light. Closing out the record already. Very rapid, it feels, in pace. Oh god, it sounds like some creepy alien animal in the distance. Themes of, again, just off of the lyrics itself, perhaps themes of suicide here, an attempt been made. Yeah, oh yeah, it definitely seems like a very depressed, suicide-ridden track. Love the very alien-like effects too throughout this record, with how abstract the sci-fi and synths are. Maybe this could be used as a metaphor for Karen's own personality, their own sort of depiction of themselves. Maybe they feel like such an outsider or an alien. Especially given how bizarre and strange their personas are, I wouldn't be surprised if they themselves feel like they don't quite belong and they feel alien, similar to this soundscape they typically work in. Wow, that was a great outro. It's very, I want to say it's brief, but it is 3 minutes. Pretty average length for most tracks, but for a closer, this one was very well paced. It felt very brief. A short passage of lyrics, and honestly, just a really peaceful kind of outro, which could be interpreted, again, tying into themes of suicide, this sort of, peaceful sort of descent or kind of fading out, which is a very dark and depressing way, perhaps, to look at this ending. Still, though, an incredible LP. And let's talk about the album itself as a whole. Honestly, this came out before Fever Ray's solo debut, before, of course, the Knife split up entirely, and they went on their own with Fever Ray. And I have to say, absolutely love how this feels like a kind of sign of what's to come. This definitely feels like a hint at what the debut record would go on to be for Fever Ray. because a lot of the soundscapes, a lot of the ideas, a lot of the kind of ambient focus and textures would get kind of extended and worked even further on, and those ideas would be pushed even further on Fever Ray. That's not to say that this record is inferior. It's too soon for me to say, but I will say that I love just the overall similarities and connections and very distinct, dystopian, disturbed, twisted, alien-like kind of sound that we get from this record. At times it is very danceable, it is very funky, it is very melodic and enjoyable, while at other times this thing really sinks into a much more, hypnotic, lost in a daze sort of trance-like state, which is honestly some of my favorite tracks. I love being kind of sucked in to the textures and the arrangements of the Knife's production. Incredible production through and through. Vocally, also fantastic. I love the really manipulated and modulated vocals that we get throughout, especially the more pitched down ones. Those are personally my preference, but even when it gets pitched up, I still tend to enjoy what we're hearing. And overall, this thing is just very cohesive and very quick. Despite being a 48-minute record, I feel like every track here builds and develops in a way that is so gradual yet so hypnotic that before you know it, the track is over, but it's been already 6 minutes, because this thing is, again, very trance-like, and that works for great pacing. All in all, The Knife, Silent Shout, a great record. Really glad somebody recommended it in one of my previous videos, because it was very enjoyable and certainly a unique take on Dance December. But that does it for today's video. If you liked the video, please hit like and subscribe for more dance videos as we continue on with Dance December. If you are interested in what the next album we're going to listen to, we're going to check out D-Light's World Click. Another suggestion from somebody in a previous comment, and I of course know the song Groove Is in the Heart on there, but the rest of the LP remains a mystery. So let's check out World Click by D-Light. As always, my name is Randy Joe. I appreciate you watching, and I'm signing off.